Hey, did you just hear that? Did you just hear that? Listen, I pressed record and then these kids started shouting A.B. de Villiers, which is like Pete's favorite thing in the world, is people thinking he looks like him. Oh, this is a new vlog. Welcome to Bhuj.
Welcome to Bhuj.
So this is Kavio Jane Thali. That was an abrupt intro, so hi, welcome back, or if you're new here, I'm Steph, along with my husband Pete. And our 3-year-old son Hayes. We're traveling throughout India for about 3 months. We're at the tail end of our travels through Rajasthan and Gujarat, and today we're in Bhuj. I think that's all you need to know. So this is a Gujarati thali. We're in Gujarat. It costs 110. Woo! It costs 110 rupees each, which is like less than $1.50. My lens fell off.
So if you're curious what we're eating, we've got this curry here, which has some kind of vegetable in it. I don't think it's potato, but do you know what? Okay. We have like a chana masala, and we have a dal, unlimited chapatis and papad. There's also a little salad to go with it, and then Hayes' favorite, which he's just discovered recently. Oh yeah, and thank you. Dokla, which is like a spongy bread, steamed lentil cake. It's very good. And then Hayes' favorite, buttermilk, which our friends next to us gave him their cup because they didn't want it and they saw that he was enjoying it. Okay, I have a question for folks in the comments. Is there like a hierarchy in like thali restaurants for the servers, that like the person that brings out the breads, the person that brings out like the curries and the dals, the person that's doing the dokla, like do you work your way up to the different dishes, or it's just like all the same?
That was so good and such an adventure, and I just want to say, for those of you that don't know, so Jains don't eat like root vegetables or anything that grows under the ground, and I just think that the ability to make food taste that good without onions or garlic is a real skill. Today we are spending the day with Kuldeep from Kutch Adventures. He's taking us to a few handicraft villages. The first one is called Bhujodi, famous for weaving. Sorry, Hayes is just playing limbo with this thing that I think that he said was called warping. We're about to learn about it. But they've got this like loom stretched. I don't know, how long would you say?
Well, yeah, it's just over the cotton, right?
I mean, this is like 1/10 of a mile or something, no?
When you start weaving, you have to go through a lot of stages. So first you have to measure the yarn, which is called warping. And this is a warp, which is going to finish when they set the loom. So it will be set on the loom like this.
So a couple of things. Kuldeep said this is actually merino wool that they import, and it's sort of a problem because it means that the local shepherds that produce the local wool don't have anything to sell, and they're burning it and wasting it. So while this is like softer and lovely for what they're making, it is a little bit of a problem. And then the other thing is that it's the second day of the full moon, which is the only off day in this village because the loom has a Ganesha on it, I believe, and they give Ganesha a break. So they're not weaving today. I don't know if we'll get to see the weaving, but they can do this kind of work, which is why we get to see the warping. So all of these villages, and when you read about Kutch and the villages near Bhuj, have like very famous artisans, and they're all the same on every list. And one thing Kuldeep is passionate about is like trying to spread where tourists are going, because the art forms are like hundreds of years old and everybody's practicing the same techniques. And so he's bringing us today to some of the kind of lesser known artisans to kind of just spread where the tourists are going and help everybody out so that everybody grows.
Something that we like to just demonstrate to you, spinning, the traditional spinning on chalka, the wheel, spinning wheel, which nobody practices today. The reason why, because it's a very slow process, time consuming, and women of her age, they were the last generation who continued practicing spinning every single day. But now they're gone.
So what we're watching now is purely for demonstration to kind of keep the art form alive, because they obviously make from
There's some NGOs, there's some
Oh, he's slicing it. He's slicing it so you can eat.
Yeah.
I want to slice it.
I don't have a vision for this.
Yeah, it's very fine.
Does it help when you make that sound?
Yeah, it really does. Even though it is the second day of the full moon, we are getting to see a little bit of the actual weaving.
Okay, pull back, change leg, pull back, change leg.
Now you do the same thing on the other side.
So it'll go like this.
Please don't rest on the hoops.
Now we're just at a house next door learning how they like do the embellishments, and honestly I stopped like recording Kuldeep because the amount of information and process is so overwhelming and painstakingly detailed, and this requires like a level of patience I cannot even imagine possessing. He's like individually counting to weave back through to create these diamonds. Now it's the shopping part. So I got this stole in boring black because that's all I wear. It's such a nice stop, but I think the highlight, I mean the weaving's incredible, but the highlight was just like Hayes getting to play with all these kids, and they've been giving us flowers. He saw some rabbits. It's such a perk because we love coming on these tours, but sometimes it's not as fun for Hayes, but here he just shows up and there's built-in babysitters. It's lovely. We're now in Ajrakpur. Ajrak means block printing, and that's what's happening here. We're learning all about the different processes. We just, behind me you can see the fabric, and it starts white, but then they actually have to dye it to make the prints adhere to it. And then we're also just looking at all the different types of dye. There's indigo, which I didn't realize was green before it's oxidized, and then black is made from rust from iron, so that's just over in a tub over there. If you're wondering where Hayes is for this stop, he's having a little nap in the car that we can see with the windows open. I actually saw this in Mumbai when we lived there, but it's this ajrak is not just block printing, it's a certain kind where you have to use indigo, like a red and black, I believe. So there's like so many steps and processes, and then the stamps go in a certain order to achieve the patterns.
It will be like off-white because it's protected by the gum and lime. For example, this they're gonna use with a black color, so this area will be sealed with the black. And this one, for example, if they're gonna go for the indigo or red, so they will do the alum print with this.
Hayes woke up and got to see the block printing, and is a little bit cranky, so I think it's lunchtime.
Well,
Hi!
how are you? Fine. So can we see a little bit of demonstration of tie-dye, please?
We're at our final stop of the day, which is bandhani.
Bandhani, yeah.
Bandhani, the form of tie-dye.
But you know, tie-dye also like it has like many different meanings. But here, the one we know from Kutch and Sindh is like most intricate one. Like the way artisans in past, mainly women of course, the way they have done the fine tie-dye is like out of the world. And that's what make Kutch and Sindhi tie very interesting. It's so fine.
So tiny dots is popular here, Kutch. Yes.
So we're looking at this tie-dye here, and I've never seen tie-dye like this. This is like individual. Well, first of all, this is a sari, right?
Sorry, yes.
It's been folded in two so that they can make it a little quicker, I guess, get more out of it. And then when they unfold it, it'll be a mirror image. But just these individual, they tie these individual little dots. And I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I haven't done any of this work, and now I'm getting.
First you start it open,
Yeah.
and then we slowly you tie.
Time to do it.
First stage is open.
You trust me?
We trust you.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of pressure on me right here. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Wow.
Good. Now cross this way.
And then we
Well done.
Wow. Oh wow, that is. Can I?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
That is so satisfying. That That's amazing.
Yes, welcome.
Hi.
You coming again? Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Come check this guy out.
Yes.
That's amazing tie-dye.
Yeah. And
No,
it's
you
wonderful.
did awesome.
Because you know what, for me, my people, my culture is more important. But actually the reality, because she's filming, so money is important. I don't care about
I thought you were gonna say. I thought
the money,
you were
money,
gonna say
money.
something philosophical that would make people coming to Kutch want to hire you. No, but seriously, Kuldeep is fantastic. And if you're watching this and for whatever reason coming to Kutch, I mean, there's many reasons to come. It's just hard to believe you'd be watching this because you might be coming. If that's the case, hire Kuldeep. He's incredible. I'll put his information here. You will not regret it.
He's also got a really good sense of humor.
Thank you so much.
Today was so cool, and Kuldeep was such an incredible guide, like such a people person. He knew everybody everywhere we went. He was so passionate about Kutch, but also tourism and responsible tourism. It was really cool. And now we're just back at our homestay, hanging out for the rest of our time here because we fly out to Mumbai tomorrow morning. I know we've been doing more like accommodation tours than usual, but we have been staying at fabulous homestay after fabulous homestay. And this one is called the Bhuj House. And it is, again, just incredibly lovely. Bhuj House is a 125-year-old ancestral home. What makes this one kind of unique is that it's a Parsi home. By the way, we're staying in the one room that's like up on this terraced area, and it is just so lovely, and it's huge. There's multiple beds. There's so much space for Hayes to play. It's just another fantastic stay. I know we sound like a broken record, but like, there's no shortage. Oh, there's the cat. We've been looking for the cat the whole time. I'm gonna get Hayes. Hold on.
I would describe it as dreamy,
Dreamy.
if I needed one
We
word.
are running out of superlatives, so.
Right.
Parsis, if you're not familiar, and I'm no expert, but they're a small minority here in India that came from Iran. And the Bhujwalas, the family whose home this is, were liquor distillers in Gujarat. But then Gujarat became dry and their business was rendered obsolete, and so many of them moved to Mumbai where there were more opportunities. And I think until a few years ago, one of their family members was the very last Parsi living here in Bhuj, and today there aren't any. I could be wrong. But basically, when their aunt, who lived over there, passed away in 2015, they turned this into a homestay. And there's 4 rooms, 1, 2, 3, and ours up there, the 4th, all centered around this courtyard, which is just like a style of living I think is so smart. We eat dinner and breakfast around that table. There's a kitchen for everybody to use. You can have chai and nimbu pani on request. And you would never know that on the other side of these buildings is like a bustling Bhuj street, but in here is this like green, calm sanctuary. It's just another really, really cool stay, and I think Bhuj is one of those places that like, this is the place. So anyway, that is Bhuj House, and I heard tonight we're having traditional Parsi food for dinner, which is very exciting. Pete reminded me of one more thing. There's so many nice touches here. There's like laminated printouts telling you how to make yourself feel at home and how to explore Kutch and how to be respectful of the many cultures here. And then there's also like this whole library. Not only there's a library, but on the printout it tells you every single book that exists by category, religion, history, cooking, etc. So you can come downstairs and find what you're looking for. I clearly should brush up on my Parsi history. It's just really, really nice. I know I always say that, but genuinely, another awesome, awesome stay. Thank you, Bhuj House. By the way, can I just say I love how much people fly kites here. I feel like I've never seen a child fly a kite in America. That's not true, we have a kite festival, but like, not just like, oh, it's after school before dinner, let me go fly my kite. I love it so much.